In January 1959, 10 experienced student hikers set out on a winter expedition across the northern Ural Mountains, aiming for Mount Otterden. A few days into the trek, one member, Yuri Yudin, fell ill and had to turn back. It was a twist of fate that saved his life, making him the last person to see his 9 friends alive. The group's leader, 23-year-old Igor Dyatlov, promised to send a telegraph as soon as they returned to base camp around February 12th. But that date passed in complete silence. By February 20th, a massive rescue operation involving military forces, volunteers, airplanes, and helicopters was launched into the brutal Siberian winter. On February 26th, searchers located the campsite on the slopes of Kalatsiek, known as Dead Mountain. The scene defied logic. The heavy canvas tent was half buried in snow, but it had not been crushed by an avalanche. Instead, it had been sliced open with a knife from the inside. The hikers' essential survival gear, including heavy boots, coats, maps, and food, remained neatly inside. Leading away from the tent into the -30-degree night were several sets of footprints. 9 people had walked down the slope toward the tree line, some wearing only single socks and others completely barefoot. A mile down the hill beneath a massive cedar tree, rescuers found the first 2 bodies, dressed only in underwear, with their hands scraped raw from trying to climb the tree. Nearby, the bodies of Igor Dyatlov and 2 others were found spaced out, facing the campsite as if they were freezing while trying to crawl back to the safety of their shelter. The official cause of death for these first 5 was hypothermia. 2 months later, as the spring thaw began, the remaining 4 hikers were found buried under 12 feet of snow in a nearby ravine. Their autopsies changed everything. These hikers had suffered horrific internal trauma. One had a fractured skull, and 2 others had sustained massive chest fractures crushed with immense force. Yet there was no external bruising or soft tissue damage matching the fractures. Furthermore, investigators discovered inexplicably high levels of radiation on several garments, and local witnesses claimed to have seen strange glowing orange spheres in the night sky on the night the hikers died. Because the Soviet government abruptly closed the case in May 1959, concluding only that the hikers died due to a compelling natural force, the mystery was filled with wild folklore. Some blamed the local indigenous Mansi people, though there were no signs of a struggle or foreign footprints. Others pointed to the radiation and orange spheres, suggesting a secret weapon test or an extraterrestrial encounter. However, modern research and advanced computer modeling point to a terrifyingly real combination of natural phenomena. The most widely accepted modern theory is a delayed, localized slab avalanche. The hikers had cut into the snowbank to pitch their tent, unknowingly destabilizing the heavy layer of packed snow above them. Hours later, a heavy slab of snow broke loose and collapsed directly onto the sleeping hikers, causing the massive internal fractures without leaving external bruises. Panicked, trapped, and fearing a secondary avalanche, they sliced the tent open and fled into the dark. In the blinding blizzard and pitch black, they became disoriented. As hypothermia set in, it likely triggered a phenomenon known as paradoxical undressing, where freezing victims suddenly feel intensely hot and strip off their clothes right before dying. There is also the theory of infrasound, where strong winds blowing over the specific dome shape of the mountain can create low-frequency sound waves. While humans cannot hear infrasound, it is scientifically proven to trigger intense physical panic and severe disorientation, which could explain the frantic rush into the freezing night. Ultimately, the tragedy of Dyatlov Pass shows how a tragic natural disaster can morph into a legendary horror story when the pieces do not seemingly fit, serving as a sobering reminder of the brutal and unpredictable power of the elements.